Okay, I want to show you another way to use visualization, one that could change your relationship with worry and with fear. Because when people ask me, how do I stop worrying about the future? What I find is that what they're trying to do is convince themselves that it will all work out. And that's their go-to for combating that worry. And I do think that helps to a point, but eventually your mind gets in there and says, yeah, but what if it doesn't? So instead of relying on that approach, I think the deeper answer is, how do I find peace? How do I feel security within, no matter how things unfold? So stay with me, because by the end of this video, I want to show you a visualization exercise that I use when I start to worry about the future, because I do. So how do you stop worrying when you can't predict the future, when you don't know what's going to happen? Most people know visualization as a manifestation tool. I attract that dream job, the thriving business, the loving relationship, that magical vacation, that beautiful family home, the life that they want to attract. And that is very important. I go into that in other videos that you can find here on this channel. But what I want to show you today is another way to work with that. Rather than just visualizing what you want, we're going to practice visualizing being at peace even when things don't unfold the way we had hoped. And this isn't because you're giving up. It's not because you don't believe in the possibilities of all that you do want to manifest in your life. That's not what it's about. The goal is just to simply get to a place where your peace, your joy, your fulfillment is not reliant on those outcomes. If you're constantly worrying about the future, what is happening is you are allowing yourself to visualize only up to a certain point. You're allowing yourself to get to that place that you're afraid of. I've lost the job. I've lost the relationship. I've lost the income. I can no longer do what I want to do. I can no longer live where I want to live. So already we are visualizing. You're visualizing all the time. And when you're worrying, you're visualizing that particular outcome. The fear stops us right there. It only lets us get to that place. It never lets us get past that to the place where we have made peace with it, where we realize, I can do this, where we lean into that resilience, where we realize, oh my gosh, look how much I grew through that opportunity, where we realize that the people I was concerned about letting down, they're actually okay. They may be even better off because they got the opportunity to experience this challenge. So rather than stopping at the loss or the disappointment or the embarrassment or the grief, the idea is to let yourself go farther, because fear imagines the pain and it mistakes that for the end of the story. And we all know, if you've lived any amount of life, you know that the story doesn't stop there. You know there's possibility for acceptance and healing and deeper levels of love and new possibilities and newfound peace. So rather than letting our mind, rather than letting our nervous system get stuck in that chapter, the goal is to move beyond it. Okay, so that visualization exercise that I've used, and I'm going to give you an example that I did it with, because years ago, my husband and I found ourselves in a space where we weren't really sure what was going to happen for us financially. So my mind kept replaying all of the fear, the uncertainty, thinking of all the things we might lose, all of the things that we might have to change, the things that were really important to us, not just for ourselves, but for our girls, which of course amplifies everything, because it's not just about me. It's about people that I care about deeply. So that layers on to that natural fear or worry that I would already have about the future. So there was a moment where I realized that I needed to go further. So instead of stopping there, I paused and I said, okay, well, what if it did happen? What if we did have to sell a bunch of things? What if we did have to move and change the girls' school? What if we did have to completely start over? Would it stink? Yeah. Would it be painful? Yeah. Would we still have food? Yes. Would the girls still be loved? Absolutely. Would we still love each other? Absolutely. Would life look different? Absolutely. But would it be the end of my life? No. Would it be the end of their life? No. Would it be the end of our joy? No. Would it be the end of who I am inside? No. And somewhere as I went through that fear lost its grip. Did it all sound appealing? No, but I wasn't afraid of it anymore. So that's the exercise. And my suggestion to you is do it when you catch yourself worrying. Take that moment, close your eyes, see that outcome you were worrying about, and send peace there. Find peace there. Get to that place where you're on the other side of that fear. And here's the thing, when fear loses its grip, your decisions are better. You allow yourself to get clearer. You allow your intuition to work better. You allow solutions to come. You open to receiving from a different place. You stop forcing, you stop grasping, you stop reacting. So again, ironically, you actually put yourself in a place where you can now step in to a different reality. So again, if worrying about the future is your thing, which it is for a lot of us, the goal isn't to simply try to convince yourself, no, it'll all work out, it'll all work out. It's to discover that no matter how life unfolds, your peace, your security was never dependent on any specific outcome. Okay, if this is already helping you work with worry and fear differently, hit subscribe. This is the kind of work I go into every week, and I look forward to sharing with you more.